Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Hammerstedt from Holist. I'm just kind of getting adjusted here. As you can tell, I am still at work. I work nights in emergency medicine, and I was supposed to be done 2 hours ago, and I would have been home and would have had a little bit nicer background for you. But sometimes these things happen in emergency medicine. So today is a Wellness Wednesday, and I have Sharon McGlaughlin here. She is a board-certified plastic surgeon in New York City, or in New York, and she is going to be joining me today to go green in terms of skin and everything else. So hi.
Hello, how are you? This is great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love that you got on here so fast. You're clearly an expert. So I was just introducing you just I'm just introducing you just a little bit here. I was just saying you're a board certified plastic surgeon, you're a medical director in New York, and that you are the founder of GoingGreenMD.com and WrinkleHelper.com. And these are just two ways that you have really been spreading some inspiration around green and non-toxic living. You are also a huge advocate for physicians, especially female physician entrepreneurs, and we're really thankful for you for that. So Thank you for joining us. And today we're just going to talk a little bit about, your why on going green, and whether that's about skin and products and, life in general. And so tell us a little bit how you got here.
Okay. I'm a cancer survivor, so I think that has a lot to do with it. But the more you do research, I took a liking to chemical-free products a while back. I saw some studies, coming out of Europe, and what we have here in the States is very different than what Canada follows or what the Europeans follow. And I was like, that's weird. Like here in the States, I think right now, currently we ban about 13 ingredients, where in Europe, it's over 1,000. I think it's like 1,100 or 1,300, I forget. But there's such a discrepancy that I was like, what's going on here, So I've really started following some of the literature for the past couple of years, and it is amazing. It's very hard with the literature because it's all observational studies, as you know. It's very hard to prove that one thing is associated with another. But definitely in animal studies, there's been some concern. And I know that not animal studies can't, equivalent to human studies, but it is concerning. I did see, remember I had sent you that article last night, and it was very interesting. It came out of Mount Sinai. There's a concern for women who are pregnant, like prenatal exposure to different plastics. It's called phthalate. There's just too many concerns is the bottom line. And I know that it's hard to prove because it's an observational study, but I do think we should start, if there's just so many studies coming out, we should start looking at this more in general. I personally wish that there was better regulation, tighter regulation. Like a lot of the products that are on the market, I'm not even talking skincare, I'm talking like household cleaners. There really is no regulation. They leave it up to the manufacturers to determine whether a product is safe or not, which there's just too much room for error there, Well, I'm talking a lot. Tell me.
Yeah, no, for me, it's, I feel similarly. I have always tried to get kind of the cleanest, freest stuff that I can. And it's not necessarily because I'm a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but it's just that if there is a question, I want to be safest. And especially, I have little kids, right? And so it's everything they're exposed to is just magnified. And if I can be safer, I can. I think, also they're not going to study these things because they're not going to make any money off of, studying skincare and household cleaners, right? And so, unfortunately, I'm not sure our country is going in the direction of more regulation, but we can at least kind of get the information that we can the best. So tell us a little bit about we're both Ever specialists. We both, love the skin products. They have anti-aging skincare line. They have a kind of a brightening skincare line for people who aren't yet worried about aging, and great makeup. Tell us, about Ever a little bit from your perspective and why you feel so comfortable as a plastic surgeon and as, you know, a specialist in going green, about why this was your choice.
Yeah, no, it goes right along with my lifestyle. Why would we put on questionable contaminants or toxins, however you want to say it, you know? So that I've been following for a while, and I came across Ever, and I started, you know, just to trial it to see if it was working or not. And there's one particular product that I just love. It's the Youthful Serum. It's their #1 seller. Yeah. But I really think I use that twice a day, and it has basically transformed my skin. That's like last year or so. I'm 51 now, so I think when I started hitting 50, like a couple of months before, I know it's a mindset, but I was like, I felt awful. I was like, I looked older in the mirror, you know, like I really started to like step back and be like, oh my goodness, I'm getting older. And so buying that skincare actually transformed my skin, and I felt so much better. It's like a whole mindset, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, you could exercise and be fit, but if you don't exercise for a week, you feel like, oh, like you feel awful, right? It's only a week. It shouldn't really matter that much, but it's a whole mindset. So Everfit right along with that lifestyle as far as being clean and green, and they follow the European standards, which you know, I think are safer.
And they really do work. I mean, I turned 41 a couple of weeks ago, and I've noticed a change in my skin over the last year of using Ever, and it brought it into the kind of my Holist network, you know, so to be able to share that. So when we get done, we'll put both of our links in the comments so people can check it out. And of course, anybody who wants to, you know, try it can always, I think, PM one of us so that we can help you figure out what it is that you need. What else do you do with goinggreenmd.com? What else are you digging into there?
Yeah, I do a lot of blogging. You know, I write blogs just about every week because I just feel like it gets the word out there. I don't know if I have dedicated followers, like some blogs, like, you know, people follow the blogs. I just kind of do sporadically here. I change the topics around, so I think it's harder to get followers, but I do get quite a number of hits. I blog an awful lot about anything that I think is pertinent as far as whether it's a news article. I do a lot on social media as far as tagging articles and kind of linking to them. I also do Young Living, which that whole like house cleanser thing, Ever doesn't have house cleansing. And I really think it's very important. You can make your own, you know, you could use white vinegar, you can use baking soda.
Yeah.
We're so short of time. I'd rather just buy it. It's easier. They have a bottle. Yeah. It's like the Thieves. It's concentrated. It has a nice smell. Like everyone's like, oh, what's the smell? Yeah. You know, unfortunately, those smells are like not in Young Living, but in a lot of the household products. Those are the ones out of the contaminants, like the synthetic fragrances and the phthalates. So, so I really do try to stay away from that. But that's pretty much those are the two companies that I work with. But honestly, just trying to get the word out. You know, we're physicians. I think it's really important to take a stand and be an advocate for a safer environment and safer living.
Yeah. You know, there's so much that we don't know. You know, one of the things I love to do, and one of the reasons why I really like to interview other physicians and other practitioners is that we all know our little niche, right? But you know, and sometimes we don't trust other people who have other niches, right? Whether that's acupuncture or something like that. But there's so much that we don't know that you know, maybe we know in 10 years from now about how something works. And if you can, you know, get as much knowledge and empowerment and evidence as you can, try to make the best choices that you can by learning from each other, I think that's definitely the best. You know, I am a lifestyle medicine physician as well as an emergency medicine physician, and we've gotten, you know, a ton of information about, you know, the science behind coaching, behind exercise, behind food, you know, health, you know, and all of this fits into that, right? And so if you're trying to make better lifestyle choices, some of that is going to involve what you're putting on your largest organ. Some of it, that's going to be the food, you know,
food is huge.
Or non-toxic ingredients that are around.
And it's not my specialty, it's your specialty, but food is huge, isn't it? Like what we eat and why, you know, we will like snacks, but that shouldn't be our primary source of food, you know, calories. It really is important to take care of ourselves and eat those vegetables. You know, there's tons of antioxidants.
Well, what's interesting is that, you know, what you eat is actually independently a risk factor regardless of your weight. So it doesn't, you know, your BMI could be normal, and if you're still eating, you know, highly refined added sugar foods and lots of trans fat, like that is an independent risk factor no matter how much you exercise or, you know, what you look like. So it still is really important. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree, Heather. And there's so many, like so much sugar and inflammation. I'm sure you go a lot with, into like with your course and your books and stuff,
Yeah.
and your website. But that inflammation is huge. Years ago, we were, well, like, I don't know about you, but I was definitely a skeptic. I was like, oh, they're just trying to get some publicity here, as far as talking about gut health. And now you see so much, and there's more and more studies coming out, it really, if you do have to take a second look, you do have to say, maybe it is like these chronic diseases are all related to bacteria in our gut. I don't know, but there's definitely a surge. You could blame it on obesity, but why Americans are obese compared to other countries, who knows? We're not walking enough. We're not exercising. I think it's more than that. I really do.
Yeah, I have a 12-week women's course that's going to be coming out this winter, and I've been interviewing all these experts, not just on women's health, but just sort of all sorts of women's issues, like, finding your core values and life coaching and, leadership stuff. And it's been really fun. I talked to a gastroenterologist who, talked just about that, how what you eat and how your bacteria and your gut microbiome. And we have Dr. Michelle Ramirez watching, and she also writes about this, really affects your, your immune system, everything about you. And she was actually calling the foods prebiotics instead of the probiotics that we talked about eating afterwards. And I really liked that idea a lot. Talking about foods, prebiotics, giving you the gut health that you need. But yeah, I agree. It's like there's things we don't know, and I think in conventional medicine sometimes we just sort of like blow off stuff that we don't understand and say it doesn't exist. But I think the more that we get to know each other as a physician community and reach out to all our alternative and ancillary practitioners, I think we all have a lot to learn and be all more well, I hope. So.
And this networking helps, doesn't it? I've really grown so much. So I appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Please put in the comments links to your websites and to your Facebook groups. And also we'll put in our Ever links, and we'd love to talk to anybody about how the skincare line can really transform you, and why you should switch and how we can help you do that. And then also I know I have my makeup on here, but my post overnight makeup face.
You look great.
And then the Young Living stuff. I'm sure people would love to hear about that.
All right, sounds good.
Again, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you for taking the time this morning, and also thank you for helping us with the female physician entrepreneurs group. It's really been a huge.
There's so many of them. Physician scientists. It's all good.
Yeah.
Brave enough.
It's been really.
I'm going to get myself in trouble. Now I have to keep listening. All right, bye, Heather. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.